Texas A&M's offense?
They're really good. I mean, there's not. I'm trying to find a weak spot. If any of you guys see one, help me out with that. Left tackle's very good. Maybe one of the most athletic linemen. They have a big offensive line. It's very athletic. The quarterbacks play with a tremendous amount of confidence. They've got good running backs. The freshman's really talented. Number 5. They've got good receivers. Some are fast, and some are big, and some are big and fast. So, and they've played very well, and they're playing with a lot of confidence. So it's been actually fun watching them. It's going to be a great challenge for our guys, and we're excited about it.
Are you impressed with how Trevor Knight has taken to that offense as a grad transfer first year there?
Yeah, he looks a lot. He's playing with confidence. He looks like he's having fun. Both running the ball. He had some big runs against Arkansas and reading the zone read stuff and throwing the ball and things like that. He's sometimes he'll flip it sideways, overhand, underhand to Christian Kirk or to Williams and things like that. He's doing very, very well.
But I know you've kind of run out of superlatives with Barnett, but after what he did last Saturday as well, just the stretch he's had these last couple weeks, have you had somebody have something like that before?
I mean, Bruce Feldman, I guess, ought to be his agent right now, right? Derrick's playing really well. I mean, the kid Nassib last year for us at Penn State won a lot of awards and had 16 and a half sacks, 25 tackles for loss, but Barnett the last 2 weeks, especially in the second half of games, has really taken over. And we're gonna, we have to find creative ways to put him in position so that teams aren't just sliding protections to him or max protected. Even on the one where he had the strip sack for Vereen, he beats the tight end, he beats the running back, and he gets in there and strips the ball. And what I like about him is he's really taken more of a leadership role. He talked to the unit after the game. He talked to the unit again after practice yesterday, and talked about what his expectations are. And I say it all the time. I mean, it comes from coaches, and it's great. But when it comes from a teammate or a leader or a player that the guys respect, it goes a little even further.
When did you start noticing him becoming more vocal? Was that as far back as the spring, or did it start in preseason?
That's not in his nature. He's just one of those guys that just likes to do his job and do it very, very well. But I think Coach Jones has talked to him about it. I know I've talked to him about it. Talked to him about how much the players respect his work ethic and how hard he works, and just his performance on the field. And remember in the spring he was coming from an injury, so he wasn't always out there. And he and I have a good enough relationship that I think I could say, hey, I need you to say something here. And it started within his position, and now I think certainly with the injuries that we've had, he feels an obligation to the group a little bit more.
Bob, I know the Georgia game is way in your rearview mirror, but kind of what happened on that long touchdown and the breakdown there at the end?
I mean, it was we were in a 2-deep man under, and we'd run. I think I was telling you the other day we'd run that coverage. I showed a good, bad, and ugly tape always on Mondays to the guys, and they ran the exact same play versus the exact same front, the exact same coverage, and we covered it. And the quarterback scrambled for a first down, which was unfortunate. And in that play, he did the exact same scramble, and instead of running, he decided to launch it, and he made a really tremendous throw, I thought, and put it into a fairly tight window. I think sometimes as a DB, your mental clock goes off and says, okay, the play must be over. He's not going to throw it, and he ended up throwing it. And I think if you ask me and Buck Showalter, that hindsight's always 20/20, and maybe had I known he was going to throw that ball in that situation, I might have been in a different coverage. I figured we'd play 2-man, one more snap, and then get into a victory type concept with 10 or less seconds left. And I promise you, I sent a fruit basket to Dobbs and Jennings, and they're well aware. And that's complimentary football. I choose, if you really want to know the truth, and I think, again, Jimmy, we talked about this just the last couple of days. Did I do that? Am I doing it? Whose phone's that?
I have no idea.
It's really kind of impressive. That series, that's the one people are going to dwell on. But let's go back in the fourth quarter for a second. They drove down the field and we stopped them on a 4th and 2 from the 25. Great play by Shai Tuttle batting the ball down. Very next play, Dobbs throws an interception. We get a huge 3-and-out there, make them punt. All of a sudden there's a little exchange of field position. Lovingood makes the great play, and then we get the strip sack on the second play of that series for the touchdown. All right, so suddenly we went from a 4-minute drive to a 2-minute drive. We get back on the field, poor kickoff coverage, so you get the ball in pretty good field position. 2 plays later, Malik Foreman gets an interception. So in the last 4 minutes of the game, we made three really good stops. And then, a championship team's got to make that 4th good stop, and that's something we talk about, and that's something that we addressed in the meetings on Monday, whether it's from me as the coach to the staff, things we can improve upon, whether it's us to the players.
What's it like being on the other side? The range of emotions, I guess we see you, Mr. Cool, out here and all that, but what was it like in that press box on that day and that moment for you in that final minute?
You're exact. That's a great question, and it went from, like you said, again, I think the thing that's unique about our staff, and I think about myself specifically, and Debo and Larry Scott, that we've all, been head coaches. So I mean, the bottom line is winning, and I've told the guys before, we're gonna have to win a game this year 49-48, and we're gonna have to win a game this year 7-6. So certainly when that play happened, when the ball's in the air, I have a pretty good vantage point, like you guys do in the press box. Not our ball, I'm talking about Easton's throw. I kind of had an idea what was going to happen. And, at that point, Coach said what happened, and we addressed it. And then, there wasn't a lot of panic. It was, all right, what happened? We got to block the extra point. That's the first thing that went through my head. If you block the extra point, return it for 2 points, it's tied. Okay, then it's what do you do here? So, hey, that's kind of what went through my head. And then, when all of a sudden Evan Berry makes a great play, on the kickoff and brings it back, and we have 4 seconds left. And anytime you have Josh Dobbs and Juwan Jennings and Josh Malone and those guys, you always have a chance. So it did. It went from okay, how are we going to get the guys back into this thing, to hey, what a great win for the guys. And it was a great teaching moment for us. And I say this to the defense all the time. Whether we win 56-0, whether we win a game like that, whether we lose, whatever, I use the phrase every Monday. The first thing I say, and if you ask them, they'll tell you this, I say winning minimizes the problems, losing magnifies the problems. The problems still exist. And I said to them on Monday, if Dobbs and Juwan don't make that play, we're sitting here with a little different tone, in our meeting on Monday. So, and we're very consistent as a staff, and I think everybody, I don't know. I mean, it was very. We weren't pleased, but at the same time, we come away with a win. We're one of a handful of teams that are 1-0 5 times, and we got a great challenge this week.
Obviously, Barnett's the